Benjamin Netanyahu vowing retaliation for Iran's attack against Israel, saying, quote, "Whoever attacks us, we will attack them." Iran's strike is the latest in a series of escalating moves in the region, threatening a wider conflict in the Middle East. For more, we're joined by Steve Clemons, founding editor of The Washington Note. Steve, it's great to have you on with us here. I want to discuss your take on the influence that the United States might have in this conflict. I know you've discussed this a lot with your own sources here. To what degree do you think the United States has any control about what might happen with these tensions?
Well, look, first I should say the United States is firmly supportive of Israel's right to defend itself. It was informed by Israel of the attack on Hassan Nasrallah, the head of Hezbollah, before it went forward. And there's a very, very tight relationship. And of course, the United States is supplying much of the weaponry that Israel is using in these exercises, in these efforts to basically rid itself of some of these challenges. That said, we've seen now for nearly a year, really since October 7th, that Israel and its prime minister and its leadership right now, Benjamin Netanyahu, have largely, they played along with the United States and White House pressure to be cautious, to not widen the conflict. And really, what you see is Prime Minister Netanyahu has a plan. He's very focused. He's using the instability of this moment to go after some of Israel's deepest and biggest enemies. And he is not really listening to President Biden. So when you ask the question of how much influence the White House has, it has potential influence of cutting off weapons support, but it's not going to do that. And right now we see Prime Minister Netanyahu pretty much ignoring Joe Biden. And so the only option the White House has to do is to really line up with Israel, show its support, and see, watch how Israel plays out this next set of steps.
Steve, what are the ramifications for the global economy? And I guess when you're putting this type of event into context, are we almost starting to enter or on the risk of entering uncharted waters?
Well, we are in uncharted waters, but let's be clear. Both of these adversaries know each other really, really well. And we've seen, not just in this past year, but over many years, calculated hits back and forth between the IDF and Israel forces and terrorist operations, Hezbollah, Hamas, and beyond that, Iran's other proxies in the IRGC. We've seen recently the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, the political head of Hamas. Of course, we had Nasrallah killed. And Israel has shown a very, very robust capacity to take down its rivals. And of course, we've seen an incredible incursion, really the demolition, if you will, of Gaza. So I think in this space, we are already in uncharted territory because you're seeing huge swaths of land being destroyed. You're seeing incursions across borders. Israel has not gone into Lebanon since 2006. And while Iran has hit and has sent 180 ballistic missiles, there were no casualties that we know of. There were they were intercepted. It really shows the prowess of Israeli technology and U.S. technological support. But I think in this, what's really important to remember is both sides are posturing as well to show their audiences, to show their citizens that they're not going to take it from the other side. And we're in a tit-for-tat escalation right now. Iran has communicated that its attack is over, that it doesn't want to do anymore. And Israel is saying that's not good enough. We're going to make you pay for what you did, Iran. And so there are a lot of people that now expect, because of that posturing from Israel, it's hard to back up from that, and Israel will strike in some way. So when you ask what impact could this have on the global economy, well, Iran is a major oil producer, and anything that raises anxiety about the flow of oil in that region could contribute significantly to concerns about shipping.